Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Crafters. Oops. Let me just. Okay, first technical difficulty. Hopefully that's the last. Good morning, crafters. As you can see, I've got a new way of streaming. I'm face up so you can see me and I can chat to you, as well as we have what's going on in the desk. So before I start anything, I'd like to say thank you very much to my daughter Alicia, who helped me set up this OBS system. Fingers crossed it will all go well. I did plan to do this on Sunday when I went live, but I messed it up a little bit. I'm not really techie savage. So yeah, I just thought, as Sam isn't going live today on Made to Surprise with Mixed Up Crafts, I thought that I would go live here with you and use some Made to Surprise products. And you can see them on the desk here. So hello Marie from a very wet and cold Western Australia. Avril, good morning again. Cara is there. Hi, Cara. Cara is from Little Rabbit Design. She has her own YouTube channel, so I definitely recommend you pop over, have a look at Cara, and maybe subscribe to her channel. She's an up and coming new YouTuber, and she's a lovely crafty friend. And mentioning Cara, I also need to mention my crafty soul sister, who is Benita. She is the yin to my yang when it comes to crafting. Benita has a YouTube channel, for those of you who don't know, called Under a Pile of Papers. She's an amazing crafter, and she's a brilliant YouTuber. So again, if you're new to my channel and you haven't met Benita, I would definitely recommend popping over. Also, Alicia, my daughter. Hello, Alicia. And hello, everyone. Yes, it's brilliant. You can see me. You can see what's going on in the desk. I can read the chat over there. This is wonderful. Fingers crossed now it all goes well. So let's see. Alicia said it looks great. Switch over to the intro screen again and see if it plays for you. Well, let's do that as we're here. Does anyone mind? I'm going to pop over. Now, it's not playing. It should be coming up and playing for you, but we can figure that out at a later time, Alicia. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Thank you, Simone, says Cara. You're very welcome. I love to lift up and raise up other YouTubers. So if you're a YouTuber and you're just starting out, you know, definitely contact me. I do a fabulous YouTube live not most Wednesdays, it's kind of every second Wednesday. I go live with other YouTubers on my channel, and it's an option that YouTube has called Go Live Together. So I'm hoping to use this now and have a better setup. So if you're a YouTuber and you'd like to join me for a craft, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Benita is a fabulous crafter, Cara says. Definitely, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to continue on now and just go into the live itself. So I'm using Shoes and Bags. This is an A5 stamp set by Made to Surprise. This is, I think it was like the third or fourth. It was in the very beginnings of Made to Surprise that this collection came out. The other stamp set is Makeup A5 stamp set. Now, my crafty friend Avril, who's in the chat, realized she didn't have this stamp set here. So there's a great Facebook group called MTS Addicts and Anonymous, and it's where people who buy Made to Surprise products can actually de-stash and sell there. So I spotted she was looking for this stamp set, and I said to her, look, while you're waiting, I'll copy out the images and scan them and send them through to you, and then at least you'll have them for the card that she wanted to make. And then I thought to myself, well, seeing as I have them stamped and ready to go, I might colour them in. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to colour them in, why not go live and do it with you, so we can colour and chat and I love doing this when I get new stamp sets, because what I'll do is colour them in, scan them, and then I either fussy cut them out or use my scan and cut to cut them out. And then I have my own ephemera. I use 300 GSM cardstock when I do this. So they're very much like an ephemera piece. And that way, if someone says to me, Simone, could you make a card for me? It's for a young girl and she loves makeup. I know I have these ready to go. So I try to do that when I get new collections by Sam. I don't always manage to do it, but I do try. So that is my plan for this morning. Okay. Oh, thanks, Avril. She's saying I'm so good. Look, I don't know if, I should be stamping and scanning and sending them, but look, I know Avril is using these for a card. She's not selling. So yeah, and there is an angel policy and everything, but I only do it because I know she's stuck. Right, so I'm going to color these in. I hope that you can see everything on the desk. I have my alcohol markers over here. I like to use my tri-blend markers. These are a Spectrum Noir tri-blend marker. I have just the regular Spectrum Noir markers, but I do love the tri-blends because I find it easier. I've got all three, my light, medium and dark color in this, and I find that really handy when I'm coloring, because I wouldn't call myself a great colorist, whatever you want to call it. I'm just coloring for fun, so that's what I do. So the colour I'm using here is dark red blend, and I'm going to do the shoes because who doesn't love a pair of sexy strappy sandals in red? And I'm going to start with my lightest colour, and I'll go over all that I want in red, and then I'll go medium, dark, and then back through medium and light again. And that's what I tend to do with all my images I'm doing. I have used to stamp these VersaFine Onyx Black, and I also have the VersaFine Nocturne Black, and I sometimes use that, and I find that they don't smear. Now, a lot of people don't have that look, but I find if you let the images dry, and I stamped these at 8 o'clock, 8:15, wasn't it, Avril, this morning? I stamped these early, so they've had lots of time to dry, so hopefully this is going to work. But this is what I use to stamp. So I'm going to start with my light colors, and I would love to be able to zoom in, but I haven't figured that out yet. So I'll kind of bring it up and show you as I'm doing it. But yeah, this is just a trial to see how I get on using this new system rather than just using my phone. That's what I was using for doing any YouTube uh, videos, lives. I just use my phone, and I think most YouTubers just use their phones when they go live. The more professional, I think, do tend to use the proper setups with webcams, etc. I must try and not get my head into the overhead camera. So look, sound and picture is good, Benita says. Oh, brilliant. I'm delighted. 8:53 a.m. is when you emailed them to me. Yeah, let me tell you, I set an alarm this morning on my phone for 8 a.m. Come in and send Avril images. So I came in, and sure, look, by the time I got the owl stamps out, and yeah, I was using the Altenew, this one here, for doing my stamping, and I find it really good. Um, yeah, it is really good if you want to pop a lot of images down. But I have to say, if anyone asked me which is my favorite, it's this one here. It's the Creative Craft Products, which is no longer available. Creative Craft Products was Craft Stash, which is now Craft World, but this is my favorite. I have two 3 Misties. And once I got this, oh, I got the tonic Tim Holtz one first. But this is the one I go back to time and time again. It's a lovely platform to stamp with. I find the Altanu one, you have to lift the top off, and then ink down and then pop it back on, and it's a bit of a faff, to be honest. It is a good product. I don't know if you can hear that groaning in the background. That's my dog, not my stomach, not my chair. It's my lovely little dog, Ghosty, or Ghost. But yeah, so that's what I used this morning to stamp my images. And I think I had to stamp them about 3 or 4 times before I got the finished image. And I think the problem is I need to get a new ink pad. So let me know in the comments, what is your favorite ink pad to use? Like I said, the VersaFine Clair or the VersaFine Onyx Black is my favorite. And I know they're not strictly, I'm going to turn this to the side because it's going to be easier for me. They're not strictly what people recommend. I do have the amalgam ink. I have a couple of different inks there. But you know, when you find an ink you like, you tend to stick with it. At least I do. Now, I think, let's see. So this is the inside part of the shoe. That's the back of the heel. That's the base. So I think I'm going to give this a red colour as well, because this is where the old toesies sit in the sandal. And the rest I'm going to do in a grey, I think. So that's my base colour down. I'm going to move into my medium colour now. And like I said, I'm not a professional. I just go where the artist has kind of, you know, they've given us ideas of where we need to go with the darker shades. So that's what I'm going to pull up. And to be honest, I don't think anyone who gets a card with these images from me is going to look at my colouring and go, she didn't do a very good job of the shading there. Now, maybe if I send a card to another crafter, they will. But you know what? I do it as a hobby. I do it because I enjoy it. So does it have to be perfect if you're doing it as, you know, something you enjoy? I don't think so. But you know what? You do you, and I'll do me, and then that'll be great. I used to be very much as a colorist. Oh my gosh, I have to do this perfect and it needs to be perfect. And, do you know, and then I kind of got over myself and thought, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm not a professional artist. Do you know, I'm not the frugal crafter or, you know, any of the other brilliant crafters that are out there. No one expects me to colour in like a professional. So why do I expect myself to do that? And I think that was a game changer for me when it came to colouring, because I had this thing that everything had to be perfect and everything had to be done just right, just so, like Sandy Allnock, you know. And then I realised I was doing myself a disservice by doing that, because I wasn't allowing myself to actually enjoy my hobby because I didn't think I could do a good enough job, you know, and it took the joy out of it. So I kind of changed my mindset from that, and I thought, no, I'm going to do this because I enjoy it and it gives me pleasure. And you know what? It was the makings of me when it came then to colouring in my images. I really felt, you know, I felt freedom in that kind of mindset. It doesn't have to be perfect. Do it because you enjoy it. You're doing it for someone else, you know? So that's where I'm at my colouring. Now, when you have a look at the likes of Benita, I have another crafty friend called Kay. Um, Kay is just awesome at colouring. She's so inspirational. Her colouring is brilliant. Gemma from Gemma Leaf Crafts is another, wow, another level. Um, yeah, but you know, we're all at different levels, and you know, and that's okay too. So I'm going to use my ice grey blend. Now I do have a brown grey, but I think I'm going to go with the ice grey, and I'm going to use that for the inside of my heel and the sole of my shoe and the inside of the actual shoe itself. So what colorists do you like to watch? You know, if you're sitting down and you want a bit of inspiration, who are the go-to colorists that you like to watch on YouTube? And Onyx Black is Cara, her go-to. Yeah, that's what I like to use as well. Just let them dry and I think you're sorted. Avril says, speaking of Altenew, their Obsidian is my favourite for sentiments. I like Memento for alcohol marker stamping. I like Memento too. And then I got the Versefine and I thought, I just find it doesn't stamp as, I don't know, dark as the Versafine. It's like as if my ink pad is dry. And I mean, it's always been like that. So I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I should get another one and see how I get on. Um, but I didn't like it as the memento for stamping because of that. I just thought, oh, this could be better. I was stamping it 3 and 4 times to get a good color. So hence the reason I don't use the memento. Tend ask Benita, tend to go quiet when I'm colouring because I'm concentrating. So maybe this wasn't a good thing to do for YouTube because it might be a bit quiet. But yeah, sure. Look, we're all friends here. Um, Lovely shading, Simone. Thank you, Benita. The camera is far up enough that it comes across as good. Um, Cara says she's no frugal crafter either. I can't do the whole gutting cardstock for saving things. No, I couldn't be bothered with that either. I'm afraid. Do you know when I'm putting a 5x7 mat on a card and I know I should be gutting and I don't, I'm like, oh, yeah. She loves the lawn fawn, so I love watching Jen Shurkus. Oh my gosh, I'm probably killing that name. I haven't looked at her, but I definitely will have a look later, Avril. Craig Laird and Sam Calcott are my two go-to colorists, Cara says. Craig Laird, now I haven't either. That's two new colorists for me to go and have a look at. Sam is a given, that's right. Yeah, I do love Sam's colouring. And watching her inspired me to just do it, you know? Avril says, I find anything else smudges with my markers. I use Nuvo alcohol markers. Oh, very good. Well, I find with my tri-blends and the Versefine, no problem. And you can see there, like, if I bring it up for the camera to see, there's no smudging there. So I'm pretty happy with that, you know. Now, as I've my greys out and I have my light out, I'm going to just go ahead and do the inside of the other shoe. What I like about Sam, I'm watching Sam, is she just lashes at it. She's so quick. Um, and it looks so good, you know, and I'm like, holy God, especially when she's live. I'm like, how does she chat and color and all the things, you know? But I suppose it's just a matter of practice. Uh, she says laughing. She says colouring is not a good live thing. Do you know what? I kind of think there's sometimes when I be crafting on my own and I'll watch Sandy Allnock and she's colouring in something and she's talking, you know, about oh she does it this way. I think if I have the shading going to that side there, maybe I should have the shading going to this side here. So yeah, like I said, I'm not here to teach you. I'm just here to show you what I do. Um, but no, I like listening to and watching crafters colouring in. Um, I find it inspirational for me. You know, I kind of think, oh, right, learning tips. Like when we're crafting together, Benita, and you're colouring in, and when I can see down onto your desk, I'm like, all right, so she's doing that, and she's doing, oh, you know, so I find it really handy and helpful. Benita uses the Olo colours to colour in, and she loves the is it no, it's Ohuhus. Such a fun name. And I think there's a lot more crafters using the Ohuhus now than ever before. But Benita loves the Ohuhus, don't you, Benita? And I love the way she'll take one marker and she'll do all one color. And then she'll use the marker to do a second shading and the third shading. I think that's a very clever thing that you're not having to use three separate markers to do the shading, the three different shading. I mean, I know some people shade up to four um, shades, you know, but the fact that you can take one marker and get all that shading, I think that is very cool and very, you know, pocket friendly, that you don't have to be, you know, buying 3 and 4 markers at a time. Yeah, that's grand. That'll do nicely. I'll go back to my red now. And again, I'll start all over with my lightest colour. Red always freaks me out because it bleeds. It bleeds so easily. But I do love red. And it's my granddaughter's favourite colour. Hello, Jane. If you're listening and watching Nana Colour, I'm sure Alicia has me on the big screen, or maybe not. Um, it was funny. There was a lady on the television the other day, and Alicia sent me a picture, and she said, Jane saw this lady on the telly and went, oh, look, it's Nana. Because she had blonde hair and black glasses and the whole lot. And she sent me a picture. I thought it was so funny. So, yeah, if Jane is watching, hello, Jane. Uh, Crafter Companion is really good. She's so real. She makes it sound like we can do it all. Good idea, Simone. Nicole Spore, yes, Nicole Spore. I love watching Nicole. I love her bubbly, chatty attitude when she's live and everything. Love Nicole. And Amy Orr is another one I love. What I like about Amy Orr is she holds nothing back. You know, she's very, I think she's very real in herself and what you see. Love Amy Orr. Um, let's see. The markers just remind me of her. Um, Cara said Alfie's little friend came over yesterday, and she's budding little crafter. So she went home with some of my stash cleared out. Isn't that lovely, Cara? I love that when I have littles, as in young people, come around to the house and they kind of see the setup and they're like, oh, wow. And you kind of like, oh, do you like colouring? And really inspire that as well. I love that. One of my nieces, Edith, likes to colour. And I love getting stuff for her for, we'll say, Christmas or birthdays that I know. Like last Christmas, I got her a lovely set of markers, and I think there was like 120 set, and it had the shades, different shades of colors in it. And I was like, oh, make sure now watch a little bit of YouTube and see how you use them for shading and stuff. So I really hope she's enjoying those. I love inspiring people to be creative. I encouraged my daughters to read and colour and stuff like that when they were younger, because I think it's a great way of, you know, being creative. I think is very good. And it's great if you're frustrated or, if you're sad, you can just go to that and just it takes your mind off it. Like when I'm sitting here, I might have YouTube live on in the background, or I might just have music playing on the googly. I won't say the word because she might ask me what I want, but yeah, and just sit and color for a while. I think it's very cathartic. Okay, I'm on my dark colors. So most people go from light to medium to dark. And when you're a new colorer, it's always good to start that way. But sometimes I'm a rebel and I'll go from dark to medium to light just because I'm too lazy to go back and start on the medium color. And that works for me too. Missing some of the comments. I could really do with someone here reading the comments while I'm colouring. I had hoped Mike would do that on Sunday when I went live, and sure, all he did was came in and started messing because he's such a messer. But it was fun. But I was in such a panic on Sunday with the live. Oh, I forgot I have to do the little toesies part. So for that, I'll start the light. And I need to add a bit of grey around that as well. Never watched Nicole Spore. Have to have a look. Carrie, you should. She is really, really, she's really good. She's so fun and lovely. She'd really encourage you like to go down to your craft room and do a bit of crafting. And she's been doing it for so long, you know. She's an American crafter, so you mightn't have seen or heard of her because of that, but yeah, she does sewing as well. Go a bit darker in here because of the way the shoes are sitting, and I think I'll go a bit darker from in there and then go to the medium and pull that out of there. Lovely. Great. That didn't take long, about a half an hour. But there we go. Hopefully it's great. I can see. I know you can see me holding it up, but yeah. So, I mean, that's not too bad, really, is it? Okay, let's move on to the next thing. I think I'm going to just go with the bag, and I might pull out a tan color for that. So I'm going to go with the darkest color on the inside. And I'm going to bring a little strip of the dark color along here. Alfie is Cara's son. He hates coloring but loves reading. Gracie May, which is her youngest little girl, is already into colouring. Oh, that's so sweet. I love when little toddlers are given colours and crayons and things to colour with. I think it's so lovely to inspire them and get their creative juices going. Oh. Okay, Cara, thanks for joining me for a while. That was really, really great to see you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Avril always goes dark, medium, light. So do you go dark, medium, light, then medium and dark? Or do you just go dark, medium, light, I'm done? Because I always wonder that. Do you know, I like, do you go over and back? Sometimes I'll go over and back like a couple of times, trying to get the good blend. So yeah, this is, what am I on now? Medium. Okay, go around the edge on the medium. And then I'll bring in my light. Mike is funny, yeah, he is. He's a muppet, Benita. He's a muppet, but look, he's fun. Okay. I always feel like I color like I'm a kid at school. Good morning, James. We have a lovely family friend from America called XJ Pearl is in the chat. It's good morning here. Good day, all. Finally caught a live session. You have. I'm just doing a bit of colouring, and I am no professional colorist, James, but I had some images I wanted to colour, so I'm just doing it. And I'm doing it because I want people to see you don't have to be, you know, a professional to feel that you can do some colouring when you're doing your art, you know. I think some people can be very put off by colouring, and I don't think they should be. So there's my bag, and I'm happy with that. I'm sure there's a whole lot of better shading and colouring and everything that can be done, but when that's on a card that I've handmade, that'll be grand. So that was the tan blend that I've used there, and I'll go through all the colours when I have finished up. I'm going to do another little bag here. I have all my colours are just over there. It's kind of flipped in the small camera that I'm looking, that you can see me on, but yeah, so I'm going to might go with a nice pink. I love pink. Pink is my favorite color. So this one is a real kind of it is a bright pink, nearly an illuminescent pink, but yeah, this should be fun. So I'm going to color this all in the pink. Gracie May is young, I think, isn't she, Benita? She's only like 2-ish. Is she just over 2 or just under 2? My little granddaughter, Jane, she is 3, and she is great little color. So she is. And it was really cool because they got these crayons and they have this round lump so that kids can grab a hold like that and color in. I thought they were the coolest thing ever. You know, when you look at, we'll say, Crayola markers, they're like, you know, this kind of shape here. Whereas these were, you know, they have a knobby end at the bottom and they're a much thicker, chunkier crayon. And I thought they were a brilliant idea for a young toddler. I think less inclined to put them in their mouth as well. But yeah, that's what Alicia got for Jane when she started. I think I shall bring this down around here like this. You can see there's no rhyme or rhythm to the way I'm colouring in. I just do what's visually appealing to me. I'm sure it should be done a different way, but yeah, I'm just doing what looks good to me. So, um, dark, medium, light, and done, says Avril. Or add in a bit of dark again if it's too blended out. Yeah, you see, I think you should just do what makes you happy and looks visually appealing to you. Do you know, I don't think you have to. Some people freak about it altogether. And yeah, I agree with that, Avril. Here again, I mean, I'm just colouring over all the stamped inking that I've done there, and it hasn't, you know, smeared. I think I might go darker with this piece here. And I'm going to go back to the medium just to colour in through there. And I'm going to take my brown grey blend. I'm going to start with the light and I'm just going to do the chain on the bag because I think that's what it is. Well, it looks like chain to me. It could be a bamboo, you know, a bamboo but I think it's chain. I'm going with chain. So I'm going to do medium and then just dark. I'm going to do dark a bit of the way up. And then I'm just going to kind of do a bit of dark on each link. One and done. And I might take my light color and just add a bit of that in there for shading. And then I might go in with the darker color. Lovely. So that's my other little handbag done. That was quick. Now I'm not going to do the other shoes. I'll do them off camera and that way then I will scan them and fussy cut them out and everything. But I'm just going to do the colouring with you today. I think I'll do my backpack in purple. That's my daughter Alicia's favourite colour. Oh, you have a granddaughter as well. Small bit older than yours. Aw. Good morning, Christine. Hi, Simone and everyone. I really have to be in the right mood for colouring. I have loads of stamping done, ready to be coloured. Yeah, I think so too. It's not my favourite thing to do, and that is why I like to stamp the images out, colour them in, and then scan them and get them cut out because then I have them like ephemera ready to go. If I'm doing a card and I want to stamp an image on that card, then that's fair enough. But most of the time I'll add the images on like ephemera. So that for me is so much easier. But it really depends on what you're doing and how you want to do it, you know. But that's what I generally do. So it just means if I want to do a card then and I want to stamp onto the card, do you know, like Taylor Evans? I think that's it. Kelly Taylor Evans. Have any of you seen her? She's another American lady who colours, and oh my gosh, she's next level. She's up there with Sandy Allock. Yeah, Kelly Taylor Evans is her name. And she'll take a blank piece of paper and she'll make a scene out of it. She's brilliant. So she'll do some stamping and masking and everything. And yeah, she is like, wow, queen of the coloring. Um, but yeah, she's brilliant. But so I mean, if I was doing something like that, then I would, I do that on a card, but the majority of the time, just sticking your images on is great. That's what I tend to do. Um, the Ohuhu pens and some really cheap ones from Action here in France, but I can't tell the difference. Now I missed some of that. I wonder, I could take my, oh, let's see, can I scroll? Where's the, I always find it hard to find the mouse on the screen. Okay, hopefully I won't mess this up now. Can I scroll back on the comments? Oh, I can. This is brilliant. Let's see. Jeanette Morrison is here. Hi, Jeanette. Christine Carroll says, I have the, there we go. Christine Carroll says, I have the Ohuhu pens and some really cheap ones from Action here in France, but I can't tell the difference. Well, there you go. Just goes to show you, doesn't it? Um, oh, your daughter. Oh, you're a young lady, Avril. Oh, well, fair play. Daughter. Lovely. So you'd be young like Cara then. I'm an old one. Don't mind me. Um, Good morning, Carmel or Carmen. Sorry, the laptop is a bit away from me, and as you can see, I'm visually challenged. Good morning. Hello, Simone. Just popping in for a little time. Well, welcome. It's lovely to see you here. Avril is going to be right back. I think Avril is working. Waiting on our great granddaughter's arrival any day now. Oh, Jeanette, how exciting! How exciting! Click the thumbs up or like button, ladies. Oh, thank you, Benita. I do forget to remind people there should be a like button down there, and it just helps with the algorithm for YouTube. I found a lot, 56% of my people who visit my channel are not subscribed. There's only like 44, is that right? 56, 44, yeah. Um, are subscribed. I think YouTube does this up next thing, and a lot of people don't realize that they're not subscribed to a YouTuber. So definitely click the like button, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And maybe check and see that you are subscribed to my channel. That would be really lovely too. I'm so chuffed with my numbers on YouTube. I'm at like 3,130 something. I'm to be honest, I should be doing a lot more YouTube videos and lives, but it's the summer, and when it's dry in Ireland and we can go out in the garden, that's what I tend to do. So I haven't been as active on the old YouTube, but when the winter, as the autumn and winter sets in, I'll be doing more. Plus, having this new system is really great now. So I'm hoping that it will encourage me to do more, especially when I go live with a friend. So that should be fun. The straps on this make me think of spider legs. And add a bit of through here, and I'm on the medium color just to be sure. And then I want to add some darkness here under the flap of the bag, and then coming down. I think the middle there would be a little bit lighter. So I'll bring my medium down like that. And then we would have a darker bit under the flap of our bag. So I'll add some medium there. And then again, I'll bring my medium marker around like that. And then we would have some darker shades under here as well. So I know with a lot of colorists, they'll tell you, you know, if your light is coming from the top right, you would, you know, do your shading according to that and everything. I don't bother with that. Again, I just go with what looks visually appealing to me. Now, when you do watch the really good colouring people like Kelly Taylor Evans and all the other ladies that I mentioned, you will see that they do the shading, and it will help you learn how to do your shading. So as much as I'm doing shading and having my light coming in, it's not the be all and end all for me, because at the end of the day, the majority of people that we give our cards to that has colouring on it, they're just friends and family. They're not looking at it like that. They're just looking at, oh, look at the pretty colouring you did yourself. Oh, that's so good. Do you know what I mean? And they're not being condescending, because a lot of them are looking at it going, I couldn't do that. Oh, wow, that's brilliant. So, you know, just remember that a lot of people that you're giving your colouring to, they wouldn't even attempt to do what you've done in your colouring. Well, that's how I look at it anyway. Back through my medium and my light again. This is so great. Dark under here as well. Back to my medium colour. Don't forget to, like, when I would do this and I'd be like, wow, the difference between my medium and my, you know, dark and my light is really, like, it's really in your face. But just remember, as the alcohol evaporates and it dries, it will give you a different look again, you know. There now. I think I'll bring some of the medium color down and then go with the light again. So there's our bag done. I have a little bit of bleeding has come out around the strap of that, but it's so minimal. And what I'll do is I'll take a white gel pen and go over it. You can use a blending marker, a blender. And what you do is, if you want to use that, you take the tip of the marker and you come from where there's no color and you push the color back up. So you're not coloring over it to get rid of it. Push the color back up into where you want it to be. So I'm pushing it back up towards the strap. Now, if I bring that up, hopefully you can see the difference. Down at the bottom of the strap, just here, where there was ink out over, you can see there, I've pushed it back up into where the colour was. And I find that's a brilliant tip, because when I would go over the lines, I'd be kind of rubbing my blender on where the colour was, and it just tends to make it blow out. Whereas if you take the blender and push it back up into where your colouring is, push it over into the colouring, then you don't have that blowout of colour where your blender is in the middle and the colour has blown out. That was a game-changing tip. I can't remember who I saw that tip on, but that's a really good tip to have. So that was the purple blend that I've used for my backpack. I think it looks grand. Again, I'll just bring it up so you can see it. It's not brilliant. It's no Sandy Allnock, but it'll do me. Let me have another little look at the comments. We're nearly on an hour now, so that's grand. Let's see. Oh, Lynn is here. Hello, everyone, back from the shops. Well, did you get anything nice, Lynn? A little bit of chocolate, maybe a nice top. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Carmen says, Ohuhu has released markers with a special new tip, tip. I have heard they are very good and the brush tip lasts longer, but until now, not many colors. 2 sets, 24, 36 markers. Oh, very good. That's good to know. Especially for Benita, who's the big Ohuhu fan. Let's see. Lynn says she's just noticed me. Hi, look at me, I'm here. Ever the professional. Yeah, that's why I thought I'm probably blushing now. That's why I thought I'd do an unplanned live, because this is what I planned to do on Sunday and it didn't work. So I wanted to have another go. So hence the unplanned live this morning. Normally when I do a Wednesday morning, I do it where I go live. I go on the YouTube, go live together. So it's generally myself and Benita. I have crafted with Cara before I'm live. I'd love to do it with other crafters. So if you're a crafter and a YouTuber, or if you just have a YouTube channel and you've got a camera, I'd love for you to color with me or craft with me. But yeah, I'm here. Hi, Lynn. Let's see what else. Chocolate and a nice top sounds my kind of shop. Yeah, mine too. And maybe out for a bit of lunch while I'm at it. That'd be nice too. Haven't done that in a while though. Jeanette says, Simone, I got the arches you used on Sunday. No way, Jeanette, did you? I don't think I actually linked them, but I did put it in the description on Sunday's video of the ones I used. You should have got two. Let me just show you. These are the arches that I used on Sunday. Actually, if I bring, look, I can bring them down. So we've got the Gothic arches, which is the pointy ones I was calling them. And Denise, another crafter who joined us on Sunday, she was like, I think Gothic is the word for those. So you get the Gothic and the arches. I got the two of them from Globland. That's it there. Globland cutting dies. And I keep, you know, if I cut one out and I do a frame, I keep the excess in the back. Yeah, so I use them, and these are my favorite arch dies that I have in my stash. And I have loads, as you can see behind me. But these are my favorite arches, and these are a lovely round arch to have as well. But they were cheap as chips, and you know what? The quality is great. I couldn't leave it. I got them when I was crafting for Love from Lizzie as a design team member for her. She was bringing in a lot of new products at the time, circles and squares and the whole lot, and I was busting for arches, so I had bought those, but I was really, really pleased with them. Let's see. Missing some of your chat, Benita. I'm really sorry. Coloring and doing this is really hard. Lynn said we took some shoes back for a refund and bought dungarees, pink t-shirt, so Layla can dress up like Miss Rachel. Oh, that's so cute. Miss Rachel is brilliant for kids. If you've young kids and you haven't shown them Miss Rachel on YouTube, she's so good. So good. My granddaughter Jane watches Miss Rachel. When she watches a bit, she watches her. And Bluey. Bluey and Miss Rachel are big faves. Benita loves the Gothic arches. They look fab. They are fab, and they're a great die to use. I really like how they die cut out. They're very clean. They cut really well, really nice. Jeanette says, I screenshot it. Yeah, you're the queen of screenshots, especially if if Sam is giving us a sneak peek, you can be guaranteed Jeanette has done a screenshot. Um, and it took you to Amazon. £10. Yeah, isn't that really good for 2 sets? Like you couldn't complain. Queen of the screenshots. That's right, Lynn. Okay, I think I'm up to date with the comments, so I'm going to go back to colouring. I might just quickly colour in the little bow, and I'll do it in green. Now, I got this set, and again, these are the Aqua, Bud Green, Meadow, and Verdant Green. I haven't used these. I presume they're like 3 shades. I'm going to give them a go. I'll do it on the little bow because it's small enough. The other ones that I'm using, you can see the difference. They're not brush tips. And I do like this tip. Can't remember what they're called now. I'm sure you'll all be telling me in the... I know that the other end of will say, let's pull out a different one. So I know that's the chisel and that's the bullet. I think that's a bullet. And then that is brush. So they're the 3 different tips. I think kind of cartoony artists might use the bullet end. I've never used the bullet end on my tips, but I do, or the chisel end. Take a breath, Simone. But yeah, the brush tip I don't have a whole lot of, and I don't know if I like them as much as the bullet tip. I think you can be more precise. That's just me. I don't think I'm going to get to colouring these because we're nearly an hour in, but these will be handy. I'll do these. I'm actually crafting with my friend Benita after I've done this live because we do like to craft together, and so I'll probably finish them and fussy cut them and that with her. Different in colour. Hopefully it'll look nice. I won't sweat it if it doesn't. And like I said, I'm just going where it looks darker on the images. How does that look? I'll go back to the light color again now. Kind of blend it all in. Yeah, I think the way the bullet tips color in is far easier than brush tips. Isn't it weird when you're used to a certain way? And I think that actually, let's see, there you go. I don't think it colors as nicely as the bullet tips. Not a fan of that now. But there you go, it looks grand, you know, could still use it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of those aqua Tricolor Spectrum Noir aqua markers. Oh, so I think these are water-based if they're aqua. Duh, blonde moment. And maybe the other ones are an alcohol marker. That could be the difference there. Yeah. There you go, you live and you learn. Okay, let's see. I think I'll color in the trainers next, and I'm going to go with Jade Green Blend. So I'll start on my medium color again. I'm going to have a quick swig of tea. I've got my little to-go mug here. It's the Contigo range, and these are brilliant. I've made tea at 7 o'clock in the morning. I've crafted with Benita. I've gone to have lunch, and the tea in the bottom of it is still warm, even though I've been drinking it while we've been crafting. Brilliant. These are from Tesco if you're in Ireland or the UK. Oh, that's hot. Just for all the talking, you know, to wet my whistle. If I was doing this of an evening, I could have had something stronger. And Alicia's probably laughing. Mom, you don't drink. What are you on about? I could have a wine spritzer if I liked. Okay, so am I going to do the inside? I think I'll do the inside again in my grey colours. And I'll do the outside in colours. So I'm starting on my light colour. I'm going to go light, medium and dark. So I'm going to... Isn't there a brand of trainer? High tops, is that what they're called? My daughter Megan used to wear and still does this type of trainer all the time. I'll leave my laces white. I will have to do the tongue. Isn't the tongue? Well, sometimes the tongue can be a grey colour, but I think I'll do my tongue of my trainer now. Okay, how is that looking? Let's see. Oh, Claire has joined us. Hi, Claire. Beautiful, Simone. Oh, thank you so much. It looks okay, but I have to say, I prefer the alcohol to the water, the aqua-based marker. I think the look is nicer, you know. Um, Carmen said the aqua markers, you are supposed to smooth it out with a water pencil. Oh, right. Well, there you go. I didn't know that now. See, I'm not a professional here, guys. I'm just colouring and chatting with you. Um, James is laughing. I've got my Contigo too. Oh, very good, James. Wow, that's brilliant. So they're in the US as well as England and Ireland. I find them a brilliant mug, either to keep stuff cold or keep it hot. I love it. I've got two. I've got one in this metallic pink colour. I don't think the lights are doing it any favour, but it's a lovely metallic pink. And then I've got another one which I was using yesterday. I forgot to bring down to wash it out in the light pinker. Did I tell you I love pink? And then I've got my water bottle, which is pink as well. You can see it there. And that's Systema. I love the Systema brand. It's really good. So I have my water in that. And yeah, I'm trying to drink more. I was watching a YouTube program and it was, what was it called? Something of a CEO. And he had on a lady, I don't know her name, but she's known as the glucose goddess. And my sister-in-law, who's so into food and how you eat food and how we treat food, etc., had been saying to me, you know, I'm a very carbohydrate rich. I don't eat vegetables. There, I've said it. I don't eat vegetables. I don't like a lot of much, to be honest. Um, I love meat. I like some fish. I'm not into like shellfish or scallops and all those kind of things, but I like a bit of cod or trout or salmon or, you know, I eat that kind of fish. Anyway, she was saying to me, because my diet is very carb rich and it would be sugar rich, not that I eat a lot of sugar, but a lot of processed foods have a lot of sugar in. I should be watching for glucose spikes. All very interesting stuff. Anyway, I really didn't take on a lot of what she was saying. Like she was saying, porridge is really good for you. It's great for fiber and everything, but it does get the body to kind of perk up and send you know, out, it takes the gluten or whatever. Like I really very basic knowledge on this. But she was saying to me, do you know, you can have it called, if you have something very sweet in the morning, like a glass of orange juice, your body goes into a glucose spike, and then your body comes down, so you want to eat something again, and you might go for a bar or, you know, something like that, or a yogurt which has got a lot of sugar in it, and then your glucose is spiking up, so you're on a bit of a roller coaster. And so she was saying, you know, you should manage better what you're eating so you'll feel better in yourself. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds really good, but I wasn't really taking it in. Anyway, I digress. This glucose goddess who was on something of a CEO. I don't know what the first, I don't know. It came up in the next, you know, up next in my feed. Anyway, I sat watching this for about an hour and a half, and I found it so interesting. So she was saying that really what you should have in the morning is something like eggs on toast, or eggs with avocado on toast, because although it brings up your glucose level, which is what you want. Oh my God, James Pearl. Sorry, totally, like, I'm so embarrassed. James Pearl is after, I don't even know what it's called. He's after doing a donate. Like, I see this with the big YouTubers, and people give them money. Um, Thank you for your $20. Oh my gosh, I'm just, that is gobsmacked me. James, I can't even get this mousy thing to work. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much, James. That is so lovely of you. Thank you. That's my first ever. I don't know what you call it, because I didn't even know my channel did that. Thank you so much, James, for your donation to the crafty stash. That is so lovely of you. Wow, I didn't know my channel did that. That is so cool to know. Thank you so much. I've totally lost my thread of thought, but yeah, so this morning I had my eggs on toast, and hubby was looking at me going, I think porridge is good for you in the morning. So it's something I'm going to look into, because I want to improve my diet. I want to improve how I eat. This summer I've been very relaxed, so there's a little bit more of me than there would normally be. So I'd like to make a little bit of changes. My crafty friend Kay, who is world, I don't think she'd mind me saying it, but she is such an inspiration. In the last, what is it, 2 months, Lynn? Benita, in the last 2 months, 2.5 months, she's lost over 2 stone in weight, just using Slimmer's World. Is it Slimmer World, Slimming World, in the UK, to help her with doing that. And she's such an inspiration, having done that. I just, like, it blows my mind when you commit to something, and Kay really has committed to, you know, eating healthier and improving her lifestyle. I'm just so gobsmacked with anyone who does that. But yeah, so I thought, well, this glucose goddess might be onto something. So that's what I was watching last night. James, you've sent me gobsmacked with that. Thank you so much. That is so generous and lovely of you. Thank you. When are you going to come and visit us over here in Ireland? Um, you're always talking that you'd come over, and you never did. Are you going to do that anytime? When you retire, is it? We'd love to see you over here. Um, James is a friend of hubby's through the internet. When they were gaming, they used to game together. And yeah, made lots of cool friends. And so it's lovely to see you popping up on my lives to say hello. I think I forgot. My colouring has gone wonky now because I was so distracted by that. But yeah. But I think we all tend to kind of let rip a little bit in summertime, don't we? We eat the ice creams and we eat the cakes and, do you know, and then we go back then in the wintertime. Or is it the wintertime? Do you tend to eat more in the wintertime and then for the summer get your summer body back? I've done the opposite this year, I have to say. Okay, that's grand for that one. I'm just going to finish that one up, taking my brown grey. I'm going to go light inside, light on the inside here. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I'm going to use the greys on my white because you need to use a little bit of shading on the whites, apparently. Do there. I'm going to bring it around here as well. Here, that grumpy sounding is Ghost in the background. I think he's a bit fed up. He's saying, Mom, why aren't we in the garden gardening? Why are you in the craft room? Just doing a little bit along the laces in the lighter color because they would be white as well. And then I'm going to go to the medium color. Bringing my medium color out as far as my light color. I just want a touch of color because if you look at something white in the shadows, if you look at something that is white, you'll see that it has different shades of white. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here. Not as well as some people do it, but you know, that's the look I'm going for. Go into the dark and just bring that a little bit around the edge and here as well. And I need to do my laces on this one, and I'm going to do, excuse me for looking down, but yeah, need to be able to see what I'm doing. And I missed a little bit of green there, so I can go back in there with that. Lovely. And I'm going to go back to my green now so that I can finish doing this on here. And because we have some lines in there, that's telling us that we would have some shading there. And I'm going to bring that around. And then I'm going to bring my shading in here. My medium. I'm missing the chat now. Slimming World works really well, Jeanette said. Yeah, Jeanette would be a friend of Kay's as well. And they are crafty friends. I think you're more than crafty friends, aren't you? Friends. I mean, crafty friends are friends too, but you know what I mean. I think you meet for coffee and stuff, don't you, Jeanette? But let's see. Kay is doing great, Benita said. Yeah, makes such a difference. Christine said, I need to go to Ireland. All my great grandparents were Irish. I was born a Brady. Well, fair play to you. And you know, there's a Brady ham in Ireland. It's absolutely delicious. Yeah. If you don't mind the rain, then come to Ireland because in the winter we have cold, hard, wet rain. In the spring, we have warm, wet rain. And in the summer, we have, you know, ice, warm rain. We have had a pretty good go with the weather over in Ireland this winter. I'm moving on to my dark now. Or this summer, we had some good sunshine. A lot of wind this year. I mean, I often think to myself, God, I'd hate to be coming from a lovely warm country and come to Ireland and the weather be shite, if you excuse my language. Um, do you know, because I kind of think, God, you've come all this way over to holiday and the weather is crap. Like, what a disappointment. But then I was kind of saying that to hubby, and he said, but a lot of people who are coming over, you know, they're coming over knowing that the weather, you know, that's like Ireland is green for a reason because we have wet weather. So a lot of people know that, and that's what they expect. But I see people out and they're cycling around, and I'm like, in the lashing rain, I'm like, wow, you're committed, you know. But sure, look, I don't choose to climb up mountains, but some people do, and they love it as a holiday. So who am I to judge, you know? So I'm just blending in my colors there now in the greens, and that's me done with the trainers. So I'll quickly bring that up. We're at an hour and 40 minutes. Let me see. There you go. So we're at an hour and 40 minutes. I'm going to do one more thing. What shall we do? Shall we do the little slip-on shoes or the other bag? Which would you like to see? So shoes or bag in the comments, please, which I'll do. I think I missed a bit of chat there between James and Alicia. Have I missed a bit? Do I need to go back? Let's see. Next year. Next year. Well, James, if you're coming over here, Knock Airport is very near where I live. So keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely private message me if you're planning on coming over next year. We'd love to host you maybe for a few days. If you're doing the West, especially Sligo, Mayo, Galway, keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely message me. Christine said, I would love to follow a proper diet plan, but just did not understand the Slimming World plan at all. Oh, that's awful, Christine. Do you know what? Maybe it's the group that you're with, because I know with Kay, she's moved to another group, and I know it really set her off for this. And she hasn't changed much of what she's doing, but she's coming at it at a different way. I don't want to say too much because like that's her private business. I don't know how she'd feel about that, but yeah, maybe check it out with a different group, Christine. Maybe that might help. Um, yeah, or maybe, you know, talk to other people who are going to Slimming World and finding it works for them. Um, Christine said she needs to go to Ireland. Oh yeah, I read that. Brady Ham. It'll be very interesting to hear how you feel after a few weeks of your food changes. Claire mentioned, yeah, I'm not going to massively change it. I think what I'll do is rather than start with something really sweet in the morning, I'm going to start with something savory and go on from there. I also want to get back to walking, and I have the treadmill now is set up just over there. So hopefully that will improve things. I'll get back on the treadmill, go for a little walk on the treadmill, you know, do a couple of miles, and that'll help. But you know, we get older, you go through menopause, you have all the things, your body doesn't adapt to food changes like it would have before. So yeah, I love my curves. My hubby loves my curves, and that's what all that matters to me. So, you know, but I would like to be a little bit healthier, saying that. Let's see. Ooh, very good, James. Very good. Jeanette and Christine are chatting with each other there. Oh, yes. Now I see what you were talking with regarding Alicia James. Yes. If you're over in the Netherlands, I'm sure Alicia would love to meet up with you for lunch or something like that. She may be distracted from the feed because of the kids, but yeah, definitely contact me if you want contact information for Alicia James, and we'll see if we can make that happen. Um, Jeanette said Kay and I met once a month at a farm. Is that farm cafe? um, Halfway between their houses. That's lovely. Do you know, it's the one thing I miss about living here. I don't have the friendships that I used to have when I lived in the town. Do you know that you'd meet for lunch and stuff like that? But I'm very happy in where I am here. What I love is people don't pop in. People will tend to ring or text and make arrangements to call because we're like 50 minutes from one side of the family and an hour and a half from the other side of the family, and I love it. There's no just popping in. It's brilliant. Now I do love when family visits, don't get me wrong, but yes, it's very green here in Ireland because of the rain. That's right, Lynn. um, they're made of sugar, so the rain won't hurt. Doesn't. Don't they say a bit of rain makes you grow? I don't know about that. Makes you wet. Let's see. So we have bag has won. Benita says, okay, I got so distracted with the chat. Right, so we'll do another bit of colouring. Now, I might pull out some yellow. Will I go for yellow? I think I'll go for yellow. I've got citrus brown blend and light blend. I'm going to go with the citrus, I think. Sure, why not? Yeah. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to go with that. I might give the little doodle dangle there a different color. I might go with the earth brown for that one. So I'll put the citrus blend marker there, and I'll put the earth brown blend there. And I'm just going to do the little, I'm sure there's a name for these, isn't there? Is it a fob? I just call them a little dangle. The dingle dangle there. And I'll do the handle in the brown. And I'll do the like metallic clasp here as well in the brown. So that's the medium. I'm going to go with the dark around here. See, look at me changing it up there by just going medium, dark, and then light. Telling you I'm a rebel. Okay, and then we'll go in with the light color. That would be nice then with the yellow. Nice and summery. And I'm just going to go back in with the dark just along the edges, because sometimes your light can actually bleach down your darker color. Lovely. Okay, so that was the earth brown color there. And now I'm moving on to the citrus blend, and I'm again starting in light. So I'm just going to color in. I'm going to move a little over to the side here. I'm just going to color the whole bag in yellow, and then I'll do my shading. And I'm going to start with the light color. And do shout out at me in capitals in the chat there, just in case I miss anything. Do the markers sound squeaky? I hope they don't sound squeaky. Anyway, let me know if you've enjoyed this impromptu live. I know I've been colouring today, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. And is it something you'd like to see me do more of? Nice to know. I love catching a live when I'm colouring if I'm on my own, because I kind of don't feel so lonesome then in my craft room, because I kind of feel, you can hear other people kind of talk and just having the chats rather than, you know, watching a live. Some are watching a recorded video, because some of the recorded videos, they just happen so quick. I know a lot of people do the kind of shorter um recordings, 10-15 minute video. I love when I watch a video of someone crafting a card and they take 25 or 30 minutes, because I kind of feel like I've more company in the craft room, and I don't have to be flicking from one video to the next. I need to go underneath that lip as well. Right, that's my medium. I'm going to pop over to my dark now and come around the edges with that, along the sides, follow that around, and then underneath that flap, because there would be a bit of a dark color underneath that flap, and then down the side of the bag that we can see there. This is a nice color blend because they're quite close together. So I think you get a nice blend. The one color I do not like using in my markers is blue, especially with the blues that I have. I find the first two colors, the light and medium, is so different from the dark color, and I just can't get my head around it at all. It just does not make sense to me when I'm using it. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't found a nice blue that I like. And now we're back to the light color. Put it in really quickly. Maybe I'm just getting the hang of it now. There we go. Wow, look how quick that was. So I'll just bring it up so you can see, and you can see all the colouring in. Look, I haven't done much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 images. It's pretty poor, guys, but I had more fun chatting and the whole lot. I don't want the live to go on too long because we're nearly an hour and a half now, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to have another quick look through the chat. Oh, what? I hope everything says I've lost the signal now. I hope the live is all going well. I think the technical team is Doodah. I don't know. You're at work. I think most people are at work, except for me and Benita and a couple of others. Um, Benita said, remember to give thumbs up. Yes, please. Give a thumbs up and like the video if you have enjoyed it. I'd really appreciate it. It helps my channel to grow. Let's see what it's do that thingy. I don't know what you're on about, Benita, but I'm sure you'll tell me in a while. Um, Avril likes lives when she's working from home. Yeah, it's nice to have the bit of banter going on in the background, isn't it, Avril? Um, you know, kind of makes you feel like you're not on your own. The True Blue blender is so weird. Totally agree. Thanks, Claire. Thanks. It's not just me. Yeah, that one, the True Blue. I can't. I just can't. It doesn't work. I've yet to find a good blue. Might buy me an Ohuhu blue and see, Benita. That might work better. Carmen said, thank you, Simone. She had a lovely time. Oh, that's great. Thanks, Carmen. I'm delighted. Jeanette, thanks, Simone. It's fun watching others craft. My son is coming round with Oriana, 7 months old. Oh, give her a cuddle from me. We're having a chippy lunch. Chippy lunch. Oh, yum. Um, Hard with these, Simone. I will, Benita. That's the plan of action. I'm going to finish colouring these 2 pages in with you after I have my lunch, and then I'm going to scan them, and the next card I make, I'll make using these images. Let's see. Bob on the bag. I'm calling it a doodah, Avril said. You can call it whatever you like, Avril. I don't mind a bit. Let's see. Hit the like button. Yep. Yeah, I think made the mistake with that one. Great colouring, Christine said. What style of card are you going to do with them? I don't know, Christine. I don't know. I might make a showstopper. I love a showstopper card. I really do, because I think if I make a showstopper card, anyone can reduce it down to a 5x7 or whatever. You just take your measurements down. But I love when I give a card and then I get a picture. Oh, I got your card, and you see a showstopper card and all the other little cards beside it. I'm like, I made that. So yeah, I don't know, myself and Benita will have a bit of chat, because I think the next live I'm doing is live with her next Wednesday. So this day next week, I'll be live again. I'll be live with Benita. You'll have the whole screen, and Benita will be on one half and I'll be on the other half, and we'll be crafting together. And it's my choice of what we're going to make. So buckle up, Benita. She had me using those creative cuts the last day. Okay, listen, I'm going to leave it there, folks. Again, I'd like to give a shout out to James XJ Pearl. James, thank you so much for your $20. I really appreciate it. It was the first time I've ever received anything like that. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you so, so much. I will put that towards the crafting fund. And you are the queen of showstoppers, Simone. Oh, thank you. I'm right behind Sam when it comes to showstoppers. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there, folks. So thanks so much for being with me this morning. And I hope you've enjoyed this new setup. This is what I hope to do going forward when I'm doing a live. And until next time, folks, take care, stay safe, and bye for now. Bye-bye.